Welcome to Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap, the season of self-love series. I'm your host, Naomi Banks, and in this empowering series, we delve into the transformative journey of self-love and explore the various facets of personal growth, mindfulness, and self-care. Each Tuesday, we'll bring you inspiring conversations with experts, real-life stories, and practical tips on how to nurture and embrace self-love in your own life. So get ready to embark on this incredible journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Welcome to the very first episode of the season of self-love. I am your host, Naomi Banks, and I welcome you all. This very first episode right here, it needed to happen. And I know you all are wondering why when we talk about it a lot on Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. And we do. We talk about it a lot, but we don't talk about it enough. And I knew that I built Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap podcast to be something different. And what cultivated from that was this self-love. The self-love season is something that I've been talking about from the very first day of me creating Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. Self-love was actually the very first episode that we created. I knew going in that I had to do something that's different because I knew my audience was expecting something more on like the chocolate radio where we talked about love, sex, and relationship, but we really never got and dive into the spiritual or the healing aspect of it all. With chocolate radio, we had so much fun. You know, we goofed around. We had a great time. We played music and all of that. But I knew with Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap podcast that we had to do something different. That we had to do something that will help impact and change the world in some way. So what I initially thought about with Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap podcast is to bridge the gap between different cultures, between different beliefs, different backgrounds. And it was really merely because of what my background came from, at least part of it. I come from the adult industry. That's one of my chapters in my life of the adult industry, and I knew how we were judged and from pre-prejudice of what people would think that we are. But I knew that meeting a whole lot of beautiful people in that industry, that their story needed to be told, and they should be allowed to tell their story. So this was started off to be a safe space for them. So when I went to my partner and I said, look, I want to do Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. And I know Ask Naomi is, about the letters and the advice and stuff like that. But I think we need to go a little bit deeper in this. I said, I think we need to start to find different people that could come on this platform and to be able to express themselves where other people can be able to understand. The problem is that we live in a world that is so broken and hurt that we tend to use our hurt to hurt others. And that's something that I truly wanted to stop. Me being a mother of three, I wanted to stop that instantly. I wanted to be able to show the love that I've grew to love about myself. And even in the way that I treat other people is so differently than how I treated someone 10 years ago. So through this series, it's things that I wanted to share with you all that I've learned. And actually, I've created courses and challenges and all of those things to help with that ability to fall in love with yourself. And when you say fall in love with yourself, it's not an arrogance or it's none of that. More of it's having an intimate relationship with yourself. And so I'm starting off with 12-week series first off. And my intent is to truly to make this everlasting series, that it could go on and on forever, because I don't think the self-love season should ever end. I think you should forever be practicing self-love. I believe that is something that is needed on a day-to-day basis. Even when I just finished doing a 30-day challenge with a group of people that was amongst in the Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. And it was at least 30 people that signed up and 18 participants that actually participated in this challenge. And it was 30 days, literally 30 days. And so I myself, right along with them, said, okay, yes, I created this course, this challenge, but I'm going to do the work as well with you. And it all started off with the very first one was find three things about yourself that you can appreciate 3 things about yourself that no one ever told you, but you can appreciate. Not what nobody else said, but you looking in the mirror and you can, for yourself. And I was so amazed and I was so proud of everybody who was so bold and honest with their answers. And we did some other, other things with it, using those 3 things that took us through the whole 30 days. But that is something truly that I wanted to share just right here on this Tuesday for us to do. So with this first one, I really didn't want to go into a topic. We'll do that next week. But today, I just wanted to let you know where my space was, where my head was, what was my spirit and my soul was in creating this space for this. It's definitely needed. There's nothing that we can do without self-love. It's more of healing the core and the foundation of our soul. So I want to share with you just a few different questions that's been asked of me throughout my whole time of my healing journey. One of the questions that was asked of me was, when did I begin my self-love journey? And I can say that unknowingly, I had started over 10 years ago, but knowingly, probably it was January of 2021. COVID was still rampant. Well, not as much as rampant. It was calming down just a little bit. But I remember beginning to think about, what am I going to do now? I was still online. I was still doing OnlyFans. But I was finding that I was not enjoying it. And I wasn't enjoying it because I didn't feel as if it was a purpose for me. And in that whole realm of thing, it took me back to January of 2020. And I share this story all the time when I talk about me having an awakening moment to where I seen my life, literally my life flash right in front of me. I woke up, I guess, about 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was cleaning. I was just up cleaning and talking to myself. Yes, cleaning and talking to myself. And I remember laughing and crying and seeing my life. There was some great times. There was some good times. There was some questionable times. And there were some bad times. But I knew in that moment that I hadn't appreciated my journey. So in that was the first sense of me, like I truly don't love myself because I haven't appreciated the journey that I've been through. I haven't appreciated these good times, these moments, these bad times, these moments, these lessons that I've learned. So in that process, I said, you know what, let me start a journey. I don't know what this journey is going to look like, but there is a journey that needs to be started all over again. That I can take the different pieces from, different chapters of my life, but I knew this had to be a beginning of something. This is the year 49 for me. No, sorry, it was the year 48 for me, excuse me. But I knew in less than 2 years that I would be 50 years old. I've been unlived half of a century. So I knew that I had to get it right, not only for myself, but for my children as well. Well, 2 of them are grown, but I knew that it was something else that I needed to do. And I knew that there was a higher purpose for me. I just didn't know exactly what it was. I've been told that I need to be a minister, a preacher, a counselor, a life coach, all of these different things. But I knew there was something bigger for me. So going through the year of 2020, and now here comes 2021. The end of 2020, I had decided that I was going to bring back a podcast. I was going to bring back a show. During the COVID time, I was doing the Ask Naomi letters, where I was, all of the letters that I was receiving from everyone, that I was reading and giving my advice on that. But as I said before earlier, that I knew it was something deeper. It was something more that needed to be done. And that's why I created the Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. But I knew I knew that I needed to do some healing of myself. And so in January of 2021, when I decided that first that very first episode was going to be about self-love, I knew that I needed to take that journey. When I finished with that episode, it was a live episode. I finished with that. I had gotten a few texts, one from one of my aunties, one from my cousin, and other ones from fans that were listening that truly loved that whole episode about self-love. So from then, I took the tips that I've researched and that I've been doing, and I said, this is something that I need to do within myself. I need to take it to a whole nother level, because it's more than just that self-love. It's about falling in love with yourself. It's about having that intimate relationship with yourself. It's about finding and enjoying that self-acceptance of yourself, that self-awareness of yourself. Be accountable for all the decisions that you made for yourself. And be good with it. It's embracing you whole. My next question is, why do you want to share this with the world, Nyomi? Why? Because it needs to be done. It needs to be done in a different way that people can relate to. We are all flawed. I've been broken. We all have been broken. But I've been bold and courageous to want to be healed and go through the healing process. I believe through my story and anybody else's story that comes on this platform will be able to help others. That their stories that others can be able to see themselves in that story and know that there is a possibility, that there is hope. So throughout these next 12, 13 weeks of this series, that we can truly learn how to fall in love with ourselves. That we can truly learn how to teach others on how to love us. So today is October 3rd. And this actually, I started a new round of 30-day challenge of practicing self-love. But this time I put it up on for the world to see. I put it on Naomi's World, YouTube at Naomi's World. And I'll spell Nyomi for you. That's Nyomis World. You go to that YouTube channel, and every day I will be posting a new challenge. And you're more than welcome to join in that. All I ask is that you comment below and say, I did it, I got it, I understand it, I resonated with it. That's all I ask. And share it with someone else. Let's make this a domino effect. Let's make this go viral. And then under that, put hashtag the season of self-love. Well, I hope you enjoyed this very first episode of the season of self-love. Well, I thank you again, and I will see you all next week. Thank you for joining us today on the Season of Life series here on Ask Naomi, Bridging the Gap. We hope you've gained valuable insights and inspiration to cultivate self-love in your life. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday for more thought-provoking discussions and expert advice on nurturing a positive relationship with yourself. Remember, self-love is not selfish, it's essential. Until next time, take care, be kind to yourself, and keep loving who you are. This is Naomi Banks signing off. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Follow us on social media at Ask Naomi for updates and exclusive content. See you next week.